Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more relationship stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too, and let's crack on with today's first story. Now today's first story comes from Dr. Dunn with BS, who says, am I the arsehole for giving my stepson a 20-minute time limit to return my car before I phone the police? I am a 34 female doctor, and part of my job entails being on call for 1 to 3 nights a week, twice a month. My fiancé Dale, 30 male, has been saving with my stepson's mum to buy him a car for Christmas. My stepson Rex, 16 male, has a license already, but always has to borrow his mum's station wagon or his dad's beat-up pickup truck. His mum's car is lame and embarrassing, and his dad can only hold 1 passenger. Not practical for a teen. On to the main conflict. Rex texted me yesterday around 12 if he could borrow my car after school. His friends wanted to go to the mall, but the bus route is too long. Could they borrow my car? I text back a sorry but no, I'm on call again. Can you ask your mum? He says no. I told him sorry but my answer is still no. I'm sure you will find a solution. Ask your friends and you can all figure it out. If you see where this is going, you are less shocked than I am. I was up in my home office, the room where I keep my Switch, sewing machine and laptop, so not an official office, when I heard Rex and his friends downstairs after school. I was going to see if they needed anything, but they left after a few minutes. An hour later, I went to the kitchen, cleaning up the empty bottles and wrappers from their snacks. I saw the spot where I left my keys empty. I began to panic. First, I bolted to the door. My car was gone. Immediately dialed my stepson. He picks up and it's obvious he's in a mall store that plays loud music. I told him to get his ass home now, and he laughed and said that I am not his mum. He'll be home whenever he pleases. I'm not proud, but I told him that he has 20 minutes to get home or I'll call the police and report it stolen. Rex panics and said he couldn't find all his friends and drive home in 20 minutes. I told him tough shit. 10 minutes later, I get a text that he is in the mall parking lot and will be home soon. I phoned Rex's mum and informed her of his stunt. She was madder than me when I told her that I was on call. She apologized and promised to talk with Rex and Dale ASAP. Rex came in, threw me my keys, locked himself in his room. Dale finally came home around 8 and said that he had been on the phone with his ex. He demanded to know why I punished his son. I put my foot down and explained, I am on call. That means I need my car. Rex stole my car. Dale disagrees. His ex agrees with me and decided she will not be buying Rex a car anytime soon due to his entitlement. Dale thinks that I am making a big deal out of nothing. I didn't end up going to work, so why did I have to threaten Rex? I've only gone in twice this year while on call. Just because nothing happens doesn't mean that I am always clear. Rex is now grounded. Fiancé barely speaks to me, asks me when I'm going in today. I'm not, and if I will apologize. I'm not budging and I'm still pissed he doesn't get it. Am I the arsehole? OP goes on to edit the post, which says, editing because it came up in the comments. Dale is 30, not 29, but yes, he was 14 when Rex was born. Don't get hung up on this. It isn't about teen parents. Rex's mum was 15 when they had him and is the best mum if you ask me. She's who introduced me to Dale. Edit 2. Now I can see why my friend told me this sub can be a little much. I'm very thankful for these responses, but I think I'm going to leave the comments now and have a very frank discussion with Dale tonight. Rex is with his mum, so he won't be in the middle or get involved. Kids still wouldn't look at me and called me a bitch who wouldn't let him get his own car now. And we do have the update in the form of a comment from OP, but we also have another comment from OP who responds to someone saying, you're the arsehole if you get the police involved in a family issue, and said you could have ruined the life of your stepson over a teenage rebellious stunt. OP responds with, you think I could have ruined my stepson's life? I could have lost my job because of his selfish actions. If I am on call and don't respond, then someone might die. Rex's self-centered attitude could have caused way more harm than he realizes. He thinks that I have it easy sitting around and waiting for work to call me in. It is not easy. I'm constantly glued to my phone to make sure that I don't miss a call. I cannot relax on these days. I'm not off or on vacation. I have to be ready to drop everything, change into my scrubs and be out of the house within minutes. So when I noticed that my car was missing, I could do absolutely nothing. In my head, I was jobless with an oncoming lawsuit. You think this was just a teenage rebellious stunt? It was Rex being an entitled little prick. And you defend his actions probably because you are his age and don't understand real fucking life experience. So your comments are nothing but useless garbage to me. Go bother someone else. Now, I'm not sure if the phoning police was an empty threat or if you would have went through with it if he didn't return home, but I think fair play to you. As you said, you was on call and you needed to be at the house soon as you got that call with your scrubs on, whatever, to get there because it's obviously going to be an emergency if you're being called out. And like OP said in their comment, potentially putting lives at risk by taking that car. So not only did Rex ignore you initially when you said no to him borrowing the car, he took it anyway with his friends, left a mess in the house, which pissed me off as well. Then starts giving you cheek when you phone him up and tell him to bring the car back. He's saying, you're not his mum, etc, etc. And then when this all does come down, he brings the keys back, goes to his room, and you said, Rex on my car, Dale disagrees. I mean, what's he disagreeing with? He literally stole the car. So he's enabling Rex to do what he likes pretty much. Yeah, that's fine. You're allowed to take the car whenever you want. Then Dale goes on to say that you're making a big deal out of nothing. Holy shit. and the biggest one of all that, he's barely speaking to you now and is wanting you to apologize. I'm not sure where this update is going to go. And we've covered a few of these stories where family members have taken other people's cars and they phoned the police as well in a couple of the stories. And it's just like, these are the consequences of your own actions. You chose to do that. And instead of being grateful, Rex being grateful and Dale being grateful that the police wasn't involved in this, Dale insists that you're making the big deal and you should be apologizing, not a lesson to be learned from this for Rex. Just no, enable it. You can do it again, basically. I'm liking the sound of Rex's mum at the moment as well when you informed her of the stunt and she was madder than you. Whew. So as I said, OP went on to update the post, which says, so apparently Dale reads through this subreddit on his work breaks. He texted me a link to my post during his dinner break. A short time later, I received a call from Rex's mum, who said that Dale called her and ranted about how I made him look bad online. She told him that she didn't give a fuck because he did not react the way a good parent should. Dale was so furious that he told her he would be calling his mother to see if someone actually cared about his feelings. Dale's mother handed his ass back to him good and reiterated to Dale that he was not an active part of his son's life until he was 6, so he had no leg to stand on. Dale tried to bitch about how everyone was being unfair to him. She shut him up and told him that his son did something wrong and this is not about punishing him for being a bad father. Dale returned home a little while ago, about an hour earlier than he usually does. He looked defeated, but he was still short with me. Said he was disappointed that I posted, and now that everyone who knows will think he's a joke and a bad father. I didn't think this conversation would end up with my ending the engagement and relationship, but it did. The house is all in my name, so Dale is packing up his shit and crawling back to his mum's house. The wedding wasn't set, so no money or time lost there. Dale said so many things that I don't even want to write down. This is not the man who I have known for 4 years, and I'm honestly shocked at how selfish he is. He said my doctor money would have to buy Rex a car to make up for all the hard feelings. I am astonished at how delusional he is. I am done with this account and will not be returning. Edit to add that also the fact that he wasn't in Rex's life till the age 6 was a huge red flag to me. He never mentioned it and refused to admit it was a big deal during the argument we had when he came home. And just a lack of self-reflection at the end of that post. He found the Reddit post, he must have seen the comments that he was getting about him, and don't get me wrong, that must be hard to read. But to then come out of it and saying how everyone was being unfair to him and everyone's going to think he's a joke and a bad father and blaming you for it, saying he was disappointed that you posted, just no looking in on yourself and thinking, fuck, I fucked up here. How can I fix this? How can I be better in the future? There's just none of that in that post. Even at the end when he says your doctor money would have to buy Rex a car to make up for all the hard feelings. You just think, what the hell? Anyway, what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. And our next story comes from a throwaway account who says, am I the arsehole for getting a makeover to mess with my brother-in-law? I 20 male, to put it bluntly, look like a girl. Definitely a flat-chested one, but still. I guess I'm just unlucky in the genetics department. Most people think I'm just a tomboy, but still, it gets a bit annoying people thinking I'm a girl. I'm pretty comfortable with myself now, but I did used to get bullied a lot for it and can be a bit sensitive about it. My sister's 26 female, husband 30 male, is always making jokes about it. I've told him to stop, but he never does since it's all just jokes. I've gotten sick of it and wanted to get back at him instead of being my usual timid self, not saying anything. I went out of my way to get some friends and younger sister to give me a makeover a little before they were to come over. Basically make me look as girly as possible. They did a pretty good job, and turns out if I'm all made up, I look a lot like a younger version of my older sister. When they came over, I made sure to act as girly as possible. He was visibly very uncomfortable, so I was definitely winning this one. They left very early and I got a text from my sister calling me an arsehole for making her husband uncomfortable. She told a few family members, but most are on my side, but a few think what I did was childish and in the arsehole territory. Am I the arsehole? Edits, and fuck off to anyone using Reddit care resources to be bigots. No one likes you. Edit 2, got a text from my sister saying that I'm a giant piece of shit and ruining her marriage. I don't think I will be seeing them anytime soon, but just in case, I'm going to try and have a proper conversation with my parents about everything and see if we can not have them in the house for a while. Since I only pay rent to live with them, I don't really get a say, but I hope my parents can support me. And there was a couple of comments from OP which OP responded to, so in response to someone saying that he must have looked cute, OP said, I thought I looked quite cute too, lol. It was a lot more fun than I thought, and yeah, I was wearing a skirt for the makeover. Maybe next time I will try a dress, lol. And in response to someone saying it must have been empowering, OP replies, me and my sister are talking about it now. We plan to go shopping and get me a few clothes, then maybe get my nails, hair and makeup done professionally so I can see how I look in a dress at my best. I didn't know I would have this much fun. My sister is probably the most excited though. She finally gets her way and gets to make me all pretty like she's been trying to for years. And there we go again, that bloody line that we all see, it's just jokes or it's just a prank, when you said yourself, your timid self was not saying anything at the time. So he sat there and he basically bullied you. And your sister allowed this to continue as well, yet she has the cheek in the next section to say he was uncomfortable and you made him uncomfortable and you're the arsehole for that. Yet she allowed her husband to sit there and make jokes about you, even though you've told him to stop and he never does it because, of course, it's just jokes. Absolute arsehole. But I don't quite understand how this could be potentially ruining her marriage at the moment, but I guess we're going to find out in the update. Kev Welch says, tell her to grow up, it's just a joke. Or is she worried that her husband will want the younger one? And if he says anything about it, ask him why he's so uncomfortable over a little joke. Because he can take a joke, right? Could it possibly be because he found another man attractive? Is the Big Mac man scared he might like guys? Oh, the horror. Ask him quietly sometime what he thought about it really. See how many buttons you can push before he runs away. I think it's pretty funny. Why does it scare him so much to see somebody else doing something like that? Is he really that insecure? Yes, the answer is yes. He is really that insecure. Not the arsehole, never stop doing this. Shoddy Lifeguard says, so when your brother-in-law ridicules you, those are just jokes. When you take that ridicule and you turn it back on him, he gets uncomfortable and your sister complains. Where was she when he was laughing at your expense? I'll tell you, her head was up her backside. The reality is that you exposed his biases and that's why he's uncomfortable. You called him out on his weaknesses. Good for you. That was a great way to reclaim your dignity. Not the arsehole, but the brother-in-law and your sister certainly are. And then there was a lot of comments as well, just congratulating OP on growing in confidence mainly. But then they updated the post, which says, thank you everyone for all the feedback, positivity, acceptance, and some laughs from some comments. It's been a wild few days. I had to sit down with my parents and had a big talk about my feelings. They agreed that my sister's husband wouldn't be welcome in the house anymore. The only reason they didn't do or say anything about it is because they thought it didn't bother me and know I'm a tough cookie. They apologized for that and said they would speak out more in the future if anything like this happens again. My older sister had been texting me a lot, calling me all sorts of names, saying I'm ruining her marriage. She also visited yesterday, and as soon as she came into the house, she started screaming at me and things got heated. So my parents also banned her from coming over till she can apologize for her behavior and letting her husband continue to make me uncomfortable. On a more positive note, I've been exploring myself a lot these couple of days with my twin sister. She told me not to call her my younger sister, but we are a day apart, so I'll always call her my younger sister, lol. It's all in good fun. She helped me a lot with clothes and makeup, even experimenting with what pronouns I like. I think I may be trans, but there's still a lot of exploring to do. I hope it's worthwhile update for some of you. It's not as exciting or drama-filled, but things are working out, and it's at least an exciting time for me, even with some of the negativity. I do have to say though, thank you so much, brother-in-law. I wouldn't have explored my identity without you. Edit, some people are taking the little sister comment a little too seriously. My sister is fine with it. She read the post before being posted and we had a giggle about it. My relationship with my twin sister is a lot more different than my relationship with my brother-in-law. So people were asking about what's up with the older sister then, to which OP replied saying, I'm not sure what's going on between them since at the moment I want nothing to do with my sister and brother-in-law, and says, yep, though I do, I hope it works out for my sister. with or without her husband. I still do love her and want her in my life, but not the way she is now. Then some comments asking about how OP and twin sister are a day apart and about the mum. OP replies saying, "We were born 4 or 5 hours apart. When we were younger, we would celebrate birthdays, but not normally on the birth date. Mostly on a weekend, but we'd have a smaller one on both birthdays for both of us with just family. We got our fave meals for dinner, even from takeout places, and our fave cake on each day. It was always a great few days. As we got older, we would still do the family thing, but have our own separate party or things we do. Thank you. As for my mother, I know that me and my sister were born 4 or 5 hours apart, different days. Not sure how long before that she was in labor, but I know it was a very difficult one." And whilst that was the end of that post and it seems like this little part is over, it still doesn't feel quite concluded. It still feels like there's more to come from this. Sounds like OP's moving in a positive direction for themselves, but from the sister and the brother, that doesn't feel quite over to me just yet. How about you? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Let's have one cheeky little wholesome one from over on r/Mark Narrations. And this one comes from Princess Firefly 23, who says, "You're autistic. How may we help you have a more comfortable experience?" I would like to share my own wholesome moment that happened last month. I took my boyfriend out to Giovanni Apollo's restaurant for his birthday, a month later than his actual birthday. Giovanni is a famous Quebec chef, and his restaurant was booked 5 months in advance. We had a good evening and really great food. However, since it was our first time, we didn't know just how loud it would get. You see, his restaurant is located on his property, and he and his wife do a single service per night. The restaurant is opened. This means that the atmosphere is a lot more relaxed, like a couple hosting friends for dinner, and that they control the volume of the music. The music started out soft, as in any regular restaurant, but as the evening went on, the music got louder. Around dessert, we couldn't stand the music anymore and had to go outside. A couple was outside and started chatting with us. When they worked out we were both autistic and thought the music was too loud, the wife asked us where we sat so she could bring us our desserts and my purse. Our husband kept us company until we were ready to leave, at which point his wife went to tell Giovanni's wife we were ready to pay. But we are sensitive to the music volume. She took the machine and was ready to make me pay immediately so I could get out as fast as possible. And that is my own wholesome story. And whilst I'm kind of sad for you that you had to leave because of that, the small act of kindness from the couple that was already outside and started chatting with you, and you said that they worked out that you were both autistic and you thought the music was too loud, and then they were kind enough to stay with you and bring you your desserts and your purse. And like I say about pretty much every one of these wholesome stories, so I'm sorry to repeat it again, but just that small act of kindness has created this memory for you, and I think that's absolutely wonderful that you'll remember these people for what they did for you. And hopefully sharing that story will hopefully make someone or many people look around and be aware of their surroundings and may see other people in the same situation. I know not everyone likes to be approached, etc., etc., but sometimes it is nice to help, especially when someone actually needs it as well. I'm glad you had a nice time up to the point where it got too loud for you though as well. Kind of wondering what dessert you had though. It's made me very hungry. It was a cheesecake of some sort. Anyway, what do you guys make of this one? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below as always. Don't forget to share if you have your own little wholesome tale over on r/Mark Narrations on Reddit. Get involved over there. Always lovely to see you. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Take care and much love.
Wake up, get up, stretch my legs, eat some breakfast, milk and eggs, brush my teeth up, wash my face, throw my clothes on, start my day. Wake up, I can smell the smoke from the bacon. Let's go, see the sun shining from the windows. Okay, I know that today